New details out this morning from the latest Newshub research poll when it comes to the performance of our major party leaders. For more on this, Newshub political editor Jenna Lynch is with us live in the studio this morning. Jenna, good morning.
Morena.
First of all, that poll last night, there would have been a lot of people watching thinking, how on earth is she doing it, Jacinda Ardern? She's up. I mean, you've got scandal after scandal after scandal. You've got MIQ and the debacle with that. How is she doing it?
Yeah, up 1.6 points to 44.3. It's a remarkable result for the Labour Party, really, when you look at the past couple of weeks and you look at the start to the year that they have had. I think probably the announcements around boosters last week, the announcements around the border last week, our poll was open during that time, so perhaps people are seeing a turning of the corner for the Omicron outbreak, but probably no one more disappointed than David Seymour last night.
Poor Rob.
He looked crushed. ACT, though, was operating in a false economy. Yeah. They were operating in an area where the National Party was bruised, bloodied, battered, and the National Party has come back.
Yeah, it has. And let's talk about that. And let's talk about Luxon's performance. This is new information for us this morning. What can you tell us?
Yeah, so performance-wise, 39.3% of people think Christopher Luxon is performing well. Now, when you compare that to Judith Collins' last result, it's up 17.6 points. Much fewer people think he's performing badly as well, 21.3%. That's 37.2% lower than those who thought Collins was doing a bad job. Quite a large chunk of people are yet to make up their mind on Christopher Luxon yet. There's 28.3% who have said that he's neither doing well nor poorly, so untested.
It's interesting because we've had people email in the show this morning based on last night's poll saying, how can people be so in favour of Chris Luxon? Even he's barely been there 5 minutes. He's done nothing. How can you know you like someone when you don't know anything about them? But that's the point, isn't it? It's not necessarily about him. It's about we don't like Jacinda anymore. We don't like Labour anymore. We want to do something else. Is it?
Possibly, and particularly when you're comparing him to Judith Collins, people felt kind of this visceral reaction toward her. So now that they have someone that is a little bit more likeable to them, all of a sudden they're a bit more excited about the National Party.
All right, let's talk about Jacinda Ardern's performance.
Yeah, people are a lot more sure about the Prime Minister than they are about Christopher Luxon. 58.4% think Jacinda Ardern is performing well. That's up 1.5% on her last result. 30% think she's not doing a good job. That's down 2.2 from her last result. And only 10.5% either or.
OK, interesting that. We've also got results this morning for you on Omicron and how the government's been dealing with it. What is the people's perception of how the government's been dealing with Omicron? What are they saying here, Jenna?
Yeah, so this is really interesting because it is split directly down the middle, with people people thinking that either the government has prepared well or not prepared well. We asked, do you think the government has prepared well enough for an Omicron outbreak? 44.5% said yes, 44.3% said no. So really, really even split there. And I think the government is going to have a tough job this year as we head into that Omicron outbreak. Convincing people that they have taken the right steps, that they have ordered enough rapid antigen tests, that they have set up the boosters in time for us to be prepared for this wave.
Well, they don't, though, do they? They take their foot off the accelerator and they sit on their bums during, when it's like the off-season. When the pressure's on, they're up there fronting the press conferences, and then in the downtime, what are they doing? I mean, the Rats, for example, we're learning this morning that the rapid antigen tests that they said they didn't requisition, actually they did requisition.
Yeah, that is going to be a very difficult one to explain away, because there was a categorical assurance that none of the rapid antigen tests that were in the country right now were being taken. We were told that it was only the ones that were offshore, it was only the ones that private businesses had forward ordered, but now it turns out that actually there were some warehouses sitting here that the government got their hands on.
And you can see that graphic now. Do you think the government has prepared well enough for an Omicron outbreak? Yes at 44.5, no at 44.3, and don't know at 11.2.